Hi everyone and welcome to the Frozen Four edition of NCHC Between the Boards from Boston. I'm Greg Ankers. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, we've got all the highlights from here at the Frozen Four at TD Garden, and we'll also tell you which NCHC players brought home some major college awards. Also, we'll have our year in review highlight package. That is all yet to come here on the show. But before we get to all of that, we're going to start with the fans. Boston may be thousands of miles away from the home base of Omaha and North Dakota, but it did not prevent thousands of fans from showing up at the TD Garden to cheer their teams on in their pursuit for a national championship. Here's a look.
When you get to this level, all the teams are good. Anybody can win it. UND's had a pretty good go of it, and every game has been a battle. And so, all these games are gonna be a battle, and you never know how it's gonna turn out. I just hope UND's the team that wins.
They're like, who are the Mavericks? It's like, we're here, we're really excited, we're proud of them.
People call them a young team, but they definitely don't play like it. They play like a team with a lot of heart, a team that always wants to win. Massa's incredible. Let's go, UND!
I think we have the best goalie out there, absolutely, hands down, and followed by the best team.
Yeah, we go, man! National championship!
With the anticipation and the excitement building, it was time for the teams to get to work. North Dakota here for the 21st time at the Frozen Four, seeking their 8th national championship. Omaha, the other team representing the NCHC, meanwhile, had 0 NCAA tournament wins entering this year's postseason run. But they're here at the Frozen Four for the first time ever, seeking a first-time championship. For North Dakota, in the semifinals, they would meet Boston University, another heavyweight from here out east, playing in their own backyard. In fact, in a building that they've already played in and won 4 times previously. And the game would feature 2 Hobey Baker hat trick finalists in Zane McIntyre and Jack Eichel from BU. And those 2 players would play a pivotal role in this heavyweight bout in the semifinals. And North Dakota fans packing TD Garden, hoping their team would win their 8th national championship and first since 2000. Would not get off to a good start. In the first, on the power play, Jack Eichel, the Hobey Baker hat trick finalist, goes backhand on the rebound, give the Terriers a 1-0 lead. Later in the first, another man advantage for BU, and they capitalize once again. Brandon Hickey falling down at the point, but the one-timer gets by Zane McIntyre. It's 2-0 BU. In the second, North Dakota strikes quickly, though, working a man advantage of their own. Luke Johnson with the patient play on the baseline gets the goal to cut the deficit in half, 2-1. Later in the period, though, A.J. Greer with the one-timer here, beating McIntyre to put BU out in front by 2 again at 3-1. Then, just a couple minutes after that, another rush by BU, and Doyle Summerby somehow slides that one past everybody, and the Terriers have a 4-1 commanding advantage. Move to the third, though, and Matt O'Connor delivers a gift for North Dakota. Troy Stetcher, Johnny on the spot, skating shorthanded, and Stetcher pounds it in. Take another look. O'Connor misplays the puck badly. Stetcher, Johnny on the spot to take advantage. It's a 4-2 game. Then, with just over 3 minutes to go, Connor Gorder on the power play on the backside puts that one in. We've got a 1-goal game at 4-3. But in the closing seconds, North Dakota can't capitalize. Eichel sends one down the other end for the empty netter, and Boston University ends North Dakota's season, winning it by the final of 5-3. Shock and disbelief on the faces of the North Dakota players as they outshoot BU in this one 39-28, but they come up shorthanded in a disappointing outcome for UND.
Bounces were a little hard for us to come by in this hockey game until Troy got the one bounce on the shorthanded goal. So, if I could change one thing, it would be some of our execution in the first few minutes of the game. Beyond that, I'm not sure that there's a whole lot more that we can ask out of our players tonight.
Led by our seniors, obviously. We've never had any doubt in our minds or any quit. And it's just a game of hockey. Times teams are going to get presses. We're going to get presses. So You just need to understand that that was their momentum, and now it's our turn to counteract that. So we knew we were doing good things the right way, and we just had to continue to work to our strengths, and good things were going to happen.
North Dakota's bid for an 8th national championship may have come up just short, but coming up next, here for the first time ever, Dean Blaze and the Omaha Mavericks make their charge to the NCAA title game. Their highlights against Providence College are next. Welcome back to Boston, host of this year's NCAA Frozen Four tournament. The Omaha Mavericks have defied the odds all season long. They were picked to finish in the middle of the pack at best of the NCHC when the season began back in October. Now in April, here they are on college hockey's biggest stage, looking to go to their first ever NCAA championship game. But in order to do so, they would have to get by a Providence College team that was also looking to get back into the title game for the first time in 30 years. And Omaha coming in one of the youngest teams in the NCAA tournament, but they would be led by a senior. Goaltender Ryan Massa was brilliant in this game. He had 16 saves in the first, 31 saves after the second, and at one point had stopped 99 of 100 shots that he had faced in the NCAA tournament, keeping his Mavericks in this one. It would be scoreless in the second. Providence, though, would strike first. Noel Achari off of the rebound that Massa gives up. Achari there for the backhand rebound, and Providence grabs a 1-0 lead. Just moments after that, Providence again attacking in the Mavs zone. Pass goes down low to Mark Jankowski, who buries it, and the Friars lead it 2-0 after 2. But in the third, Omaha finally breaks through. Tyler Vessel feeding Jake Gensel for the wrister there, and that cuts the deficit in half at 2-1. But just moments after that, Providence at the other end, Trevor Magnola with the goal here, beating Massa to make it 3-1 Friars, and they would feel like they'd be going to the championship and they'd cash in on an empty net opportunity with just seconds remaining. Nick Saraceno ends the Omaha season with the empty net goal here as the Friars advance to the championship game, ending Omaha's season. 4-1 would be the final. Again, Massa, though, brilliant. Despite giving up 4 goals, there were 48 shots targeted at him to Omaha's 26th. And Omaha, even though their season comes to an end, they know their brighter days are ahead of them.
Very proud of the team, obviously, and what we accomplished this year in our first trip to the Frozen Four. It didn't turn out like we hoped, but certainly proud of the guys and the way they never gave up. I thought when it went 2-1, we had a chance. They came down and scored the next shot. So very disappointed that we lost, but certainly proud of the overall team and what they accomplished this year.
Come to the Frozen Four for the first time as a program, I think sort of puts Omaha on the map. And with a great young group of players coming back next year, I think everyone can look forward to another great season from UNO hockey.
I think this year was a success. Obviously, with these seniors, we're going to miss them. They were the team this year. They led everyone, and I think they put a good stamp on us younger guys, what to look for, what to look up to, and what to do next year. So, really looking forward to the future.
It sets up an all-Hockey East showdown between Boston University and Providence College. Tied at 2 in the second, BU grabs the lead off the face-off. Kason Homan goes backhander for the 3-2 Terriers advantage going into the third. But in the third, Providence flipping one into the BU zone, and Matt O'Connor again with a gaff lets this one trickle through his legs, trying to make the glove save, and we're tied at 3. Moments after that, again off the face-off. This time it's Brandon Tanev with the game winner for Providence College as they go on to win 4-3 for the school's first ever NCAA Men's Ice Hockey Championship. Congratulations to the Friars. While their work on the ice may be complete for another season, their recognition off the ice is not. Coming up next, more NCHC players earn some very prestigious college hockey honors, and later we'll sit down with Don Adam, the head of the NCHC officiating crew. That's still ahead on NCHC Between the Boards at the Frozen Four in Boston. Welcome back to Boston. The NCHC showcased some of the best college hockey players across the country, and they continue to be recognized for it. In just its second year, the Mike Richter Award was given out to the nation's best goaltender, and the NCHC was represented well in junior goaltender Zane McIntyre from North Dakota. McIntyre led the nation this season in wins, appearances, starts, and minutes played. He also ranks second nationally in saves, 5th in winning percentage, and 12th in save percentage. The Mike Richter Award is given annually to the goaltender who not only showcases skills and ability on the ice, but is also accomplished in the classroom as well. And while it's given to an individual, McIntyre knows he could not have earned this honor by himself.
There's been tons of people in my life that have helped me get to this point, whether it's past coaches in the youth ranks, coaches now, especially my family too. I have to give high remarks and high reward to them. My mom, Kelly, and my sister Jade and the extended family, especially Grandma Susie as well. And obviously the most important factor too is my teammates. Without them, none of this would be possible.
And for the second consecutive year, North Dakota defenseman Nick Matson has received the NCAA Elite 89 Award, given to the student athlete with the highest cumulative GPA among all participants in his NCAA championship. Matson, a management major, owns a 3.922 cumulative GPA. In 32 games this season, Matson ranked 9th among NCHC defensemen with 20 points. He was also a finalist for the Senior Class Award. Coming up next, the work is already beginning on some possible rule changes that could affect the NCHC in the future. Coming up next, we'll sit down with the head of officiating, Don Adam. That's next on NCHC Between the Boards. Welcome back to Boston. We are pleased to have Don Adam join us now, the head of officiating for the NCHC. Don, thanks so much for taking a couple minutes to talk to us. As the season comes to a close now, how do you look back on your group of officials and evaluate how their performance was during the season?
Well, you know, I think we have a rating system that's in place for the entire season. So we're grading guys, we're watching guys. Approximately 90% of our games were supervised this year, so we have pretty good data on all the guys. I think the intensity of the league, I think the number of teams that we had advance speaks a lot about the quality of play in our league. And we think the officiating held up pretty well. You know, you're going to have isolated incidents that maybe aren't as handled as well as you want them, but when you look at the full body of work over the course of a full season, we were pretty happy with the officiating.
And it's not a rule changes year. That comes every other year, but there will still be meetings in Florida in June. And what topics are on the table, I guess, this coming summer that could impact future seasons?
Well, one of the things we do is we try to cater the meetings, and this will be our third set of meetings for the league. But we try to talk about the things that the coaches want to talk about and to make our game better, actually. So we'll be talking about things like anything from supplementary discipline to checking from behind, all the aggressive type penalties. Goaltender interference will be a big one. We'll revisit that. We'll watch a lot of video. We'll talk to the coaches about those types of things. And we try to hone in on the way the game is actually played in the NCHC. And when we can get a consensus on how coaches like the game played, we can also talk about how the coaches like the game officiated.
You mentioned supplemental discipline there, some numbers that were on the rise from year one of the NCHC to year two. How is the league evaluating that and moving forward with those types of disciplinary actions?
Well, it's we don't like to have to step in, or I should say we step in as little as we possibly can. You know, the goal I think for most of our schools, for the league office, we want to keep kids playing the game. But there are situations where we have to step in and take supplementary discipline action. They were up, our suspensions were up probably 3 or 4 more games than they were the first year. So we did implement supplementary discipline a couple more times this past year. And I think that spoke to the intensity of the league.
There were an ample amount of reviews this season on goals and otherwise. And I know in conversations I've had with a lot of fans, they love to see the call get right, make the right call. Yet at the same time, we saw it multiple times this season where a team scores a goal, and because of the duration of time it takes to review that goal to get the right call, the momentum, assuming the goal is good and stands, kind of gets taken away. Are there things that you can do that you're looking at along with the league to expedite that process at all?
Well, I know number one, the officials want to get that review done as quickly as possible, but they also want to be efficient, and they want to do the best job they can with the review. There are a lot of different aspects of a review that are involved that people don't necessarily know about. Number one, technology is a big part of it. Our technology, I remember from 10 years ago to where we're at now, what we're able to review in the boxes has improved tenfold. So we continue to look at technology and get the best camera angles that we can. Then we have the operator of that technology. So the officials, there are certain circumstances where officials might be in the box reviewing a goal, and the person operating the equipment, for example, might be struggling to get certain views up or to find certain angles for the officials. So they might be standing down there waiting for a minute before that review operator can actually get the equipment to work the way he wants it to work. So there are different aspects of this, and then you have the actual rule interpretations and the review of the video itself. So an official doesn't just use judgment while they're watching the game live. Now once they see all these different views, they have to take a lot of different things into consideration, and they have to start the rule interpretation process all over again and say, what are we looking for? Does this apply? Does that not apply? And they'll look at as many things as they can to try to get the call right. And sometimes these calls turn out to be as close on video as they were as close live, and that adds to the difficulty of doing that. So, I've been at games where reviews take a little bit longer than we want to, and I've actually been a part of that process. And it's frustrating as well, but we just do it, and sometimes that happens because we want to get the call right.
Well, we hope that you and your group of officials continue to do the right thing in the future. We're sure that you will. Don, thanks so much for taking time to chat with us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. We're back from Boston with more right after this. Welcome back. It is time to say goodbye to this college hockey season, but it's been quite a ride over the last 6 months. We want to make sure we thank those that have helped make this first season of NCHC Between the Boards possible, starting at the league office with Commissioner Josh Fenton, Director of Media Relations Michael Weissman, and Corey Morlock, who have all helped provide footage and highlights throughout the season. Special thanks to Jesse Scher, who produces the show and puts it together behind the scenes each and every week. We also want to thank you, the viewers, for making this show possible, along with the coaches and players who have provided some of the most memorable moments in college hockey history. And as we say goodbye and close the doors on another season, here's a look back at some of the best highlights from around the NCHC. We'll see you next season.
Drifting away, drifting into the tide. The sunshine and rays filling my days and nights. I'll be out all night, replay all the bliss. I wanna hit rewind to see all that I missed. Just like a record playing over again, my life fast forward to the end. But after all the faces I've seen, I hit rewind continuously. Oh, yeah. Oh, black and blue, but I live for the red. Adrenaline kick pushes me ahead. The speed of sound, the soundtrack to my life, life. Bars and play every single night. Oh yeah, and just like a record playing over again, my life fast forward to the end. But after all the faces I've seen, I hit rewind continuously, and the days just capture reality.